Hey everyone, we are doing the song Tremble today. Gonna do beginner, intermediate, and some advanced ways all in one lesson. Also gonna show you how to put the melody in the right hand in this one if you want. Let's get to it. So you know the song. Peace, bring us all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break. At your name still. Call the sea still, raging in the still every wave. At your name, Jesus, Jesus. Now we're gonna do some fun stuff. Just give you a little taste of what we're going to do. This one affords itself to some gospel fun things at the end that we're going to do. But listen, even if you are advanced and intermediate, you need the beginning part here because we're going to build on this. So you can't just skip to the middle and get everything you need. All right. So yes, you'll have to actually sit here a few minutes and try to learn something. But welcome, guys. For $1, you can do my praise and worship course on webpianoteacher.com. Check it out. All right. So here we go. We are in what key? Okay, that's the first thing we need to figure out. What key are we in? And I am going to suit you beginners here, so don't worry. We're going to work up to some other advanced methods as well. So what key are we in? We need to find that out first. And I always say, well, many times the first chord of the song is the key that we're in. It doesn't really hold true here because we have A minor as the first chord. But listen, A minor and C, the key of C, are very closely related. So they're almost like the same key, really. But we are in the key of C. I'm just going to give you that as a given. We're in the key of C. So how does that help us? Why do we want to know what key we're in? Because I want you guys to be musicians. I don't want you just to be copycat robots who copy me, and then you learn a few songs by being copycat robots, and you never actually learn how to let the music well up within you outward. That's what we're trying to do here. If you know what key you're in, you know what to expect. And that's a wonderful thing because then you know what patterns are coming up. It's kind of a roadmap. You get into a preview of everything. So if you think about the key of C, C is 1, C is home base. The 4 chord is F, C, D, E, F, 1, 2, 3, 4. F is the 4 chord. G is the 5 chord. Okay, C, D, E, F, G. So you need to know C, F, and G chords. You know those 3 chords? Let's take a look real quick on the piano. You can just go C, E, G. All right? I'm assuming you just know what the notes are, right? Okay? We're not starting from the very beginning. C, E, G, left hand on a C octave. C, E, G. All right? An F chord is F, A, C. And a G chord is G, B, D. Okay? We're going to expect that in the song. And if you took a sneak look there, you saw those chords. You're going to have C, F, G chords. Those are the primary chords, 1, 4, and 5, okay? You're going to expect also a minor 6. So what's 6? And 6 is naturally minor when we're playing a major key. All right, so C, D, E, F, G, A, because A comes after G if you go up on the keyboard, right? And so A is minor 6, and we're going to have A minor. And A minor is naturally a minor key. Everybody loves the key of C, because you don't have to worry about sharps or flats. Everything's just the note it is. No sharps, no flats. Okay, I understand that. But it is a good key to start in, but we need to learn how to play in all of them. But this is a good place to start. All right, so A minor is our minor 6, and we have those 4 chords to expect. C, F, G, and A minor. And lo and behold, there they are. How are we going to do them, okay? So I'm going to start, and I'm going to start with the beginner method, which is just quarter notes, block chord things. Peace, bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me. A lot of songs sound like that, right? It's a good way to start playing something. It's not less than other ways, okay? It's a very effective way to play a song, block quarter note chords, and it's really good to do that. So don't feel like you're not anything because that's all you can do. It's a wonderful thing. All right, so we're going to start off that way. I need an inversion for the A minor, okay? I need a way to play A minor, and it just so happens it's going to be a good way to do it right in the middle of the piano. A, C, E, 1, 2, 4. Peace, bring it all to peace. And that's how I'm going to do my A minor. I'm not going to do it in an inversion. It's already in root position because A is on the bass. That letter, that chord right there tells me 2 things. What octave I'm going to play in my left hand and what chord I'm going to play in my right, A minor. Peace, bring it all to peace. Now the F chord, okay, I want to play the F chord in such a way that I don't have to move around.
because we play in inversions, and inversion just means mixing up the notes. The recipe is still the same. It's still C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, A, C, you know, how chords work. But I'm going to mix the notes up a little bit so that when I switch to an F chord, it's smooth sounding to the ear, okay? So I'm going to ask you guys, how can I move one note and I'm playing an F chord and it's very smooth, okay? It's not this. I'll tell you that. It's not this either. I just take this E and go to F. Now I have F, A, C. You see that? Because this is smooth. Hear how smooth that is? If I go down in my left hand and up in my right hand, that's a smooth chord progression. A minor to F. Peace. Bring it all to peace. Na, 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 na. Now, when you play these chords from the very beginning, you don't have to play all three every time. Sometimes you can just play two notes of the chord and it sounds kind of cool. Let me show you what I mean. So I go peace, 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 all the peace. Na, 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 na. See, sometimes I just play just two notes, and it sounds way better than if I played all three every time, okay? And you say, which ones, Shawn? Show me which ones. No, you decide. Start experimenting with what you like and just sit down and start. You're going to learn the most from doing that, okay? Yeah, you watch my lesson and you learn some stuff. Then when you go to your keyboard and your piano, you just sitting down, messing around, trying stuff out. That's where the real learning begins. That's where you really become a musician, okay? I'm just kind of showing you the way to go. All right, so peace, bring it all to peace, come around in me. Now I'm going to go back to C chord, okay? Now some of you go, what's all that cool stuff he's doing at the beginning? I'm going to show you that cool stuff, but you have to learn this cool stuff first. G, C, E is the easiest way to go to a C chord right there. If I was just A, C, F, if I just do this, G, C, E, that's smooth, right? Me, okay? So that's how I'm going to do my C chord. Let it break. There doesn't need to be another C there. So when you have chord sheets and they have another chord, I mean, they have the same chord and they write it again, it's kind of confusing, right? Because it didn't change. So what I will do is just use a chord sheet that's close, that's pretty close, and I'll correct it instead of just trying to start over and write another one. It's a lot quicker to find one that's close. So I'll just do this. Problem solved. Now I don't feel like I have to play another chord. Let it rain at your name. Now the G chord, what are we going to do there? At your name. Let's say you got a choice. You can do GBD or you can do BDG. Either one is okay. So you choose how you want to do it. At your name. And you might say, well, which one are you going to do, Shawn? I won't know until I'm playing it. Whatever I feel like in the moment is what I'll play, and you'll see that. So I'm not deciding beforehand. I'm just in the moment. When you get to where you're a true musician, you'll play in the moment and not just repeat back something someone else showed you in a computer program. All right. So let's start at the beginning. Peace, bring it all to peace. The storm surrounding me, let it break at your name still. Now, the wonderful thing about music is it repeats. If you follow my lessons, you know I say that all the time, especially on the praise and worship course on the website. Music repeats. So we already learned the next part. So let's do it, okay? Still, call the sea to still, rage the me to still, every way at your name. Look what I did. I did it here and then I went here. What decided that? I just kind of did it as I played. And to activate that in yourself, you have to sit down and experiment. Take something very easy, play it over and over 1,000 times. I did say 1,000. I'm not joking. You play it, and then these things start to well out of you, out of simple songs that you've played a zillion times. Not the one hard song that you think is going to make you a good piano player if you learn the one hard song. It's not. It's not. Sorry. You can't learn piano in 7 days. You can't play 1,000 songs learning 4 chords, all those gimmick stuff. It's not true. All right? I'm not going to lie to you. You're going to have to work, but it can be fun. The journey can be fun. Hopefully I'm making it fun for you by staying where you are. Don't try to make yourself better. Play a ton of songs that are easy, a lot of them over and over and over again, and God will make you better, and all of a sudden I'm a better piano player. How did that happen? That's how it works. Seen it my whole life. All right. So let's try the whole first page. Peace. Bring it all to peace. Storms surrounding me. Let it break. At your name still. I call the sea to still. Raging me to still. Every way. At your name. Now we're going to go to the next page. Shawn, where's the intermediate? We're going to get to that. We're building, okay? We're building something here. You used to sit in an hour lecture or sometimes 2 hours in college. Can't we do that still? Yeah, we can. All right, here's the chorus. Jesus, but let's let you see the keyboard. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Very good. All right. I'm going to make a chord change later on that. Just had something occur to me in my mind. All right, so the Jesus part. We're going to do, we have an F chord, Jesus, you know, and that sounds okay. Jesus, but it's really this. You hear the difference? The reason I get off the keyboard is because when you don't see my hands, you listen better. You ever notice that? If you turn the lights off, all of a sudden you listen better? And if you can't see my hands, Jesus, you listen. As opposed to Jesus. So if I just play an F chord, it's okay. It's all right. But it's not as good as the other way I did it. So what did I do? I did an F major 7. It's not incredibly hard. I'm going to show you what it is. Here's an F chord, F, A, C. All right. F, A, C, F on the left hand. Jesus. All I do to do an F major 7, and you can do this on any F major 7, guys. If you're playing an octave in the left hand, chord in the right, which we're doing 99% of the time, look at your right hand. Take the letter of the chord that it's called, find it, and go down one letter. Boom. You have it. Show you what I mean. F, A, C. I'm going to take the F. It's called an F chord, right? Move it down. Jesus. G. And I have it. Isn't that beautiful? F major 7. And it's not hard. Let me write it. I'm not going to write it every time because I don't want to do that here, but you can write it every time if you want. Jesus, Jesus. So that one time suffices, okay? F major 7 every time. Jesus, Jesus. So F, A, C is the F chord. The 7th is the E that I put in. It's called major 7 because the F is a major chord. F, A, C, 7. F major 7. All right. Jesus, Jesus, you make the dot. Now on the A minor, I like that. It's okay. A, C, you make the dot. But I like A minor 7. I love putting 7ths on the minors, and it doesn't matter if I do that. You say, well, what if you're playing with a band? Can you just put a 7 on there? It's going to mess everything up. No, because your band's playing the chord, and you making a 7, you're just adding a note to the existing chord, so it doesn't hurt the existing chord. You're just putting a 7th in there. Now, if they did something with another weird note, yeah, it might, but if you're just adding a 7th just means you're adding an extra note to the chord because it's a 7th away from the root. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I'm adding a G to the chord. Now, remember the trick I told you? When you do a major 7, find the letter of the chord, go down one letter. It works also for a minor chord. So let's do the trick. A minor. I want to make it A minor 7. Find the name of the chord. A, there it is. And I go down to G. Boom. And all of a sudden I have a cool chord. Okay? So F major 7 and A minor 7 for the cool chord. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Now, make the darkness tremble. All right, for the tremble. For the G, let's see. You make the darkness tremble. G. You could do a G, you're fine. If you guys like G, go for it. But I'm going to make a little bit of a tweak here because I like how it sounds this other way. And what I like is, you made the darkness. I like, instead of G, GBD, I like to make this one an E, and it makes it an E minor with a G in the bass. But all I did is change one note. I like that chord better. So I have Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. G. I just like how that sounds. I even like throwing a C in there too. Okay? But that's up to you if you want to do that or not. We all have our opinions, our creativity in music, and neither way is right or wrong. It's just you have, within the framework of music, which has rules, you have creative freedom within those, within that framework, kind of like your walk with Jesus, right? There are rules, but you have some flexibility within those rules of choices that we're allowed to make. All right, so A minor 7. I'm just going to say E minor over G. Might throw a C in there because I like the sound of it. But if you want to stay plain vanilla, Jesus, Jesus, A minor, you make the darkness tremble. That's fine. Okay, and I might do that sometimes, but sometimes I may do it that way. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, A minor again. Silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. So this goes quicker. Na, 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 na. I can do a suspension there. That's a suspension. If I go G, B, D, and I suspend the B and make it a C, then it's kind of cool sounding, okay? So that's how I'm going to do the chorus. Let's do it one time through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. I did a suspension there. I'm going to write that for you in case you're interested in that. So I did a suspension. It's called a 4-3 suspension. I did a suspended GCD. Suspended the C, and then I went down to B. That's all I did, okay? Let's keep going with our simplest way, and then we're going to do more advanced ways, intermediate, and all that coming up. Breathe. Say, can I do an A minor 7 on that, Shawn? Yes, you can. Breathe. Call these bones to live. Can I do an F major 7 on that? Yes, you can. Call these lungs to sing once again. I will pray. That's what I forgot on the first verse. Okay, because in the recording I'm listening to, they go to E minor there, and I'm going to switch that on the first verse when we go back. That says E minor 7. E minor 7 is E, G, B with a D added. And to easily play it, I can just do it E here on the left hand, B, E, G on the right, and find the name of the chord, move it down one letter, and then I got it. I will pray. So I have, if I want to make okay, so I'm adding some of this, adding things to this for you beginners. A minor 7, let's do G, C, E in the right, A in the left. Breathe. Call these bones to live. F major 7. Call these lungs to sing once again. I will praise. C add 9 just means I got a C chord, and I'm going to throw a D in there. So I'm going to have G, C, D, G. Say, where's the E, man? There's no E in your C chord anymore. I don't have to have it. It's just assumed it's there. So as I begin to add other notes, sometimes I can leave ones out, and then I have a certain sound. You say, well, how do I have any hope of learning chords? If that's the case, you'll see them enough times. You'll see them in enough patterns. You'll see it again enough times to where it'll start to, oh, okay, I remember that. So there's C add 9. Are you ever going to forget that? It's a cool sounding chord. Learn it right now, and you'll never have to learn it again. G, C, D, G. All right, breathe. Call these bones to live. Call these lungs to sing once again. beginners. Breathe. Call these bones to live. Call these lungs to sing. Once again, I will praise. Now, what did I do? All I did is moved everything up an octave and played it softer. You can do that, and it sounds like you've just, learned everything there is to know about piano, and all you did was move up an octave. We can do that like no other instrument can. I'm going to mark that one out because we don't need it. Why? Because it makes our mind think we have to change chords, and we don't. I'm already playing a C. I don't need to put another C, okay? Now, of course, we go back to Jesus, Jesus. Then the chorus happens again, but I already taught that, okay? This is a teaching lesson, not a performing lesson. So we're going to go to the bridge. Now, guys, this bridge is so good that it's like another chorus. It's a great bridge. It's even, as far as, the chorus is best because it has Jesus' name in it, of course. But musically, this bridge is like an awesome second chorus or something. So bridge doesn't do it justice to call it a bridge. And a bridge is just kind of you have verse, chorus in a song. Well, a bridge is where you go off somewhere for a minute to another thing and then come back to the chorus and then it's bigger. And the bridges aren't usually that great, but this one is really, really good, okay? In fact, it's the most memorable part of the song to me. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Gets up high there. Your name. I'm not up to singing that high right now. I want to sing it lower. It's a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. And I'm going to show you all that cool stuff, but hang on, okay? Let's finish the chords here. And the way we started. For all our beginners, okay, we got to take care of the children. And that means actual children, but as well as people who are beginning something. They are children in that skill. And we have to take care of them because they're in a nest. And if you jump out of the nest too early by trying something too hard or making them feel insignificant, then they'll quit, okay? We're most vulnerable when we're in the nest. A lot of you are in the nest. And I want to protect you and finish with you. And the people that are more advanced than you, they were where you were one time, and they need this too. All right. So let's finish out for the beginners, and then we'll get into some other things. Your name. I'm going to do an F chord. Where do I do it? I can do it here. Is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name. I don't know. I like it here. CFA. I also like it here. So you choose. I may play it right here for right now. CFA. Your name. And you say, well, Shawn, how do you finally finish? How do you finally pick how you're going to do it? I don't pick. I just play, and then, that's what I'm doing. I just kind of do it. When you make a cup of coffee in the morning, all the things you have to do to make that pot of coffee and pour everything, you don't think about what you're doing. You've just done it so many times that it's automatic. You may do it a little differently, and you will do it a little differently every time. The movements that you make. The music is like that, okay? You need to play. Stop talking and thinking and start playing more and experimenting. All right, your name, CFA, is a light. Now we're going to go to C chord, C, E, G. Shadows can't deny. G chord, I'm just going to do B, D, G. Left hand on G. Your F chord, G chord, D, G, B. And overcome, E, A, C. I'm just playing plain vanilla chords. Is a light F for C chord, G chord. Your F chord can G chord, A minor. All right, so those are the chords for the bridge. One more time. Your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. G chord. Your F chord, G, A minor. Your name is a light forever lifted high. Name cannot be overcome. All right, we're going to do some cool stuff. Maybe not that. Coming up. But there we go. The next part here, and I realize that this is a pyramid. The bottom part is all the people who are beginners who want to learn to play. Some of those will actually make it up to that next level. Okay. A lot quit because they don't know how to practice and they're picking the right lessons. They don't have any, they don't know what to do. They have the desire, but they don't know what to do. And so that's what I'm trying to do here is show you what to do. And my course on the website is all about that. But some will fall off because of that. Some will fall off because they're just not willing to work, right? If you're not willing to be consistent and this is not important to you, you're not going to get there anyway. So, you know, that's just what's going to happen. It's like me in golf. I like playing golf, but I don't want to put in the time to get really good at it. So I'm not going to do it, but that's okay for me. I love music. That's what I'm doing. I love teaching. And then, you know, you that middle area, and then there's even fewer that will actually keep trying and striving to get to the fulfillment of all that they can be musically. And that's what I'm after, is to make musicians out of you guys, not just copycat robots who can play a few songs because they've copied a few people. And they don't really know how to play. They just, you know how to copy. So I want to teach how to be musicians. So let's do that. Let's take that next step. This is intermediate, okay? So I'm not going to teach an intermediate class like I would a beginner class. So we're going to move along here. So, peace. The first thing you do, because you already learned this, peace, bring us all to peace. If you can't play through the whole song like that, you are not ready to do what I'm about to show you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say, oh, everyone can do it. No, not everyone can, but those who have put in the work on the lower levels can. And so if that's your first thing, so you need to go stop the video and go practice those chords. Or you could watch this, but as you do, don't require it of yourself yet. Just watch and say, oh, I'm going to do that someday. I'm going to see what this is about. But don't require it of yourself yet, because then you set yourself up for failure when you can't do it yet. And it's not your fault. You're just not ready. So this is that second step for intermediate. Peace, bring us all to peace. I call it soft thumbs. The reason I call it soft thumbs is because we're using our thumbs mostly, and they're softer. That's the key to adding these notes. Because when I'm adding notes, 90% of it or more is just playing the notes again that I'm already on. I'm just playing them again. I'm not reaching some new magic notes that only I know and no one else does. No. It's the same notes, the same chord I'm already on. I'm just playing those notes again in a pattern, and they're softer. Now, be silly with me right now, and I want you to go. Can you do that into the microphone? And the reason I'm doing that and being silly is because that's what's happening on the keyboard. And if you can do that with your mouth, you can and you will be able to do it with your hands. If you can do it with your mouth. Because if you can do it with your mouth, then you know it's in you. It's in you somewhere. That rhythm is in you. We just got to get it in your hands now. But it's already there. We just got to get it down to your hands. And that's what we do when we transfer to the keyboard. Peace. Let it break at your name still. Now, the very beginner soft thumbs is going to be like this. So I'm adding a little something there, and that you need to be Karate Kid, wax on, wax off for a few weeks. Some of you on that till it becomes second nature, and then you can start to do the bum, 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 and bum, done all the peace, all around in me. You can try your left hand by itself. It's like whack-a-mole, but all the moles are notes in the chord. As long as you hit a note in the chord, it does not matter which one you do in which order. It doesn't matter. As long as it's one of the notes in the chord, and as long as you change to the next chord on time, it doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't. And that's how people that play say, I never played the same way twice, because they're playing whack-a-mole, and it doesn't matter which one. But some of the moles you have to hit softer. So that's probably what it is. If you're playing, you say, I'm doing what you're doing, but it doesn't sound like you. That's probably what it is, because you probably sound like this. Instead of... the inner drum machine that God put in all of us, and you have to activate it. Some people go their whole lives and they never turn it on, and they can play these wonderful pieces, and they've never actually turned on the inner drum machine that's in us. I've seen it. All right. So how do I know all this stuff? Because I've spent my whole life teaching. I've taught almost 40 years. I started as a very young man teaching. I've played piano all my life. I've taught my whole life, and I've learned a lot of things in that time. And I'm telling you, there is an inner drum machine in you, and you can go your whole life and never turn it on. I'm trying to help you turn it on. I'm trying to help you do it. Get yourself a pair of bongos. I love the bongos because they give you something to do while you crank up Chris Tomlin or whoever you're listening to, and you play along with it to turn that inner drum machine on. Some people just hit on their table. That's fine, but I love a pair of bongos. They're fun. Or a drum set if you can get a drum set. All right, so what do we do after that? After we add that complex rhythm. Now, I'm going to show you some other chords. You can do the A minor 7. On the F, I like doing this. Look, an F add 9. When you do an add 9, all you do is take the letter of the chord and go up one letter, and you add that note. So it's F. What am I going to add? G. I'm going to add G, and that's what I do here. And add 9s typically sound good if you have some open space in the chord. So I'm not going to play A as well. I'm just going to play G. So peace, bring it all to peace. There's my F9. Start at me. I'm going to do an add 9 on the C. You can do add 9s all over the place, guys. So the C add 9, I already showed you that. Remember? And I said, learn it and you'll never forget it. You don't have to keep adding, saying, oh, what's the add 9 note? Just remember it today. C add 9, never forget it. Surrounding me, let it bring at your neck. Now on the G, I can do this. Do they do this in the song? No. Actually, they go to E minor 7 there. Add your name. So I need to write that, but I'm going to show you what else you can do. E minor 7 is what I should have showed you the first time because that's what they do. Rounding me, let it bring. E minor 7, add your name. But you can also do this. Add your name. You can do a G add 9. Just going to show you a cool chord here. You take G and you go up one letter. A. Add an A to the chord, have some space in there. A, D, G. B in the bass. So add 9, plus I have the third of the chord in the bass, the B in the bass, and the A, D, G on top. And I have some really cool sounding chord. Sounds like Bruce Hornsby or something. That's your name. I love that chord. Okay? What's that sound like? Peace. Bring it all to peace. Storm surrounding me. Let it rain. And your name still the cause still. Raging me still everywhere. At your name. Or E minor 7. At your name. There's a place where you can't do different than your band. They have to be all doing the same thing. So if you want them to do a G over a B bass, okay. If you want to do E minor 7, you have to decide because you can't do that on the spot. Then your chords don't mix and it sounds bad, okay? So that's not a place where you can do that. There are some options there. Now, G, I love this. Okay, so we have Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble, Jesus, Jesus. Keep doing your rhythm stuff. Jesus, Jesus. You can also do this. You can do a G in there instead of an A. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. I like doing the bass. When you go F to A, what note's in between? There's a note in between there, G. So I can move up to it. I could do the opposite too. If it went A to F, I could do the G in the middle on the way too. It's called just a step bass thing, a bass movement by step. So I could go Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. All right, so I know that sus isn't there, but I like it. Use your creativity. Start playing things your way that you like. Now I'm going to do a little advanced here, little higher level stuff, okay? This is not how the song goes, but it's fun to do it. I love to what I call gospelize. Okay, I love gospel music. You know, I just love anything gospel, and gospel doesn't necessarily have blues in it, but it can. So something like this, maybe. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, your darling's fear. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Just a way to break it up a little bit. Depending on the church you're in, they may not go for that, but they may. So let me show you what I did there. And we can learn something in the journey. Maybe you're never going to play it like that, but we're going to learn something here that you can apply to other songs. And that's the key here. I'm not teaching you a song, but I'm teaching you musician things that you're going to take with you to other songs, okay? I'm not just teaching you one song. We're learning how to fish here. We're learning how to play, how to do things that we're going to apply to every other song, okay? So I'm just bringing your attention to those things. So a cool thing to do before an F chord is that chord. I'm just going to show it to you. E, G, B flat, D. These are advanced players, okay? E in the bass. Oh, Jesus. Then I go to my F chord. Oh, Jesus, Jesus. Now, getting to the A minor, this is what's done a lot of times. You can also go. Nah, let's do it this way. Okay, a fully diminished seventh chord. I'm going to do G sharp, F, G sharp, B, D, F. And then I'm going to sink into A minor 7, G, C, E. Ooh, see that? So I go, Jesus, Jesus. On the G, I'm going to do this. G, B, flat, D, F, left hand on a G, D. I'm going too fast, hit pause, okay? You can hit pause on the video. Did you know that? You can hit pause. Darkness tremble on the C chord. I'm going to do this. G, B, flat, E, C on the bass. So I got, oh, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, 8 major 7, Jesus, Jesus, the silence fear. Oh, Jesus, Jesus, oh, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. So there I'm just going to F, E minor 7, and then D minor 7, then a G, then I go F on the top, G, A, C, C, da, 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 da. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. So I have those little spaces. Back. So advanced players, you take that and mess with it. Those of you who aren't ready to do that, you can listen and say, oh, I'm going to do that someday. I'm going to listen to it so that when I finally do it, it's in my head, it's in my ear. You're learning right now, listening, whether you're trying to or not, even if you're not playing, things that are going into your head. All right, what else we got? All right, back to, this is another way to play the verse. Breathe. Breathe. can do a rolling pattern. Da 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 da. Da da da. It's advanced now, okay? I'm not going to teach addition and subtraction in a trigonometry class. So da 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 da. Play my A minor 7, but beginners are welcome to watch, okay? Just keep saying that because I know that people try to leap over the threshold and do things that I'm not asking them to do yet, okay? You're not ready, but definitely watch, learn. Always be watching and learning. Breathe. So I got my A minor 7. Breathe. See how I'm rolling the chord? I'm just going to play everything loud so you can hear it all. That sounds terrible because I'm playing everything the loudness. But now if I smooth it out and I do the old Bob Ross trick, slap some mud on the canvas and then take that fan brush. Remember Bob Ross's fan brush? All right, let's take a little fan brush and just brush this out here and just make this smooth and nice. Nice and all right, puts us to sleep. It's great. All right, so the fan brush, the old fan brush smooths it out, and that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to take what I just played, and I'm going to smooth it on out and say, hey, call these lungs to sing. That's okay. I will praise, breathe. Now, on the way back to breathe, I love this chord. This is a jazz chord. Just showing you some stuff, guys. Just showing you some stuff here. All right, so on the way to A minor, I can do this. E, B, E, G sharp, D, G, natural. You ever heard Stevie Ray Vaughan? He used that chord all the time. So it's a jazzy chord, but you can use it on the way back to A minor. So we'll pray. These bones to live. Trick you can use, and I'll show you these same things. There's only so many tricks, and we just use them all over again and recycle them and mix them up. Okay, the piano can do octaves like no other instrument. We can play stuff in different octaves so easily. The guitar can kind of do it, not like we can. Other instruments can kind of do it, not like we can at all. So if you make use of that octave, especially with the right hand, then you've added an element to your playing where you didn't really have to learn anything. You're just new. You're just playing the same thing you played. Plus, it gives you a sense of the entire keyboard if you'll do that. Okay? Let me show you what I mean. So I can stay in one area and go, your name is a light that the shadows can't deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Or I can do this. I'm going to show you that, don't worry. But you see what I'm doing? I'm changing the octaves. So how do you work on that? You don't work on it by slowing down the video and trying to copy me each individual note. That will not work. Even if you succeed at doing that, you are not going to turn on the musician inside you and that inner drum machine that we all have. You get it by listening to me a bunch, gathering all the information that you can, maybe watching several times, even a passage 3-4 times. Then you go to your keyboard, your piano, and you experiment, and you just sit down there and start messing around, okay? I'm giving you a palette of colors, and you got an open canvas, or a wall, let's say a wall. Just get on there and start messing around. If you mess up, go to a different place on the wall and try again. Keep doing stuff. That experience, those hours spent experimenting are going to be what opens you up and develops you as a musician, okay? Hear me on that. It's so true, and it seems like nobody knows it. Your name is a light. So what I'm doing here to kind of add a little something is I'm playing inversions of the chord. This is advanced stuff. F, now on the C, I'm going to do an E on the bass. Shadows can't deny. And on the G, I'm going to do a B. Now, does the song do that? No, it doesn't. But if I'm just playing with my buddies, I can do that, and it just gives a little sound. If you're different sound, if you're in church and we've done the same songs over and over again, it's nice to do something a little bit differently. So everybody wakes up. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Okay, man. If you just bust it out, Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble, Jesus. I mean, that's cool, right? You got to be in an environment that they're gonna, not throw you out if you do that. But it's fun to just change it up a little bit. And we're creatures created in the image of God. We have choice. We have creative power. We have imagination, and it's all in us. But we have to sit there and work things out and play them over and over again before that comes out. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. All right. So if I play, this is an inversion, the G in inversion. That's things that can make that happen. Now I want to show you that cool thing I did. Let's see where I put it. Your name is a name that the shadows can't deny. Your name not be overcome. All right, this is something that Elton John did not invent. Michael W. Smith didn't invent it. We just did on the website, we just did a Chris Tomlin song that had it in it. And he didn't invent it. It's just a gospel chord progression that sounds really cool, and it's not hard. And this is what I'm doing. I'm going A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G in all the inversions. So E, A, C. I'm starting up here. 1, 3, 5. Think of it in groups of 2. Because, guys, you can use this everywhere. You can use it in this. His love endures forever. We did that song, that Michael W. Smith song on the Praise and Worship course. And that's where I first taught it. But you can use it all over the place. Anytime you have a G chord, you can do it. Where you're holding a G chord and you need something to do this. A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G, A minor, G. Okay? So this is what it sounds like. Your name, shadows can't deny. Your name will not be overcome. Your name is alive. You can go up with it. You can use it all over the place. And you'll get used to it after playing it a while. What else? Oh, the country third. Love the country third. Some people call it slip note, I guess, but it's this. You know that song. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. When I have an F chord, I'm going to put my hand in root position and do this. 2 and 5, flip to 3. On the C, I'm going to do the same thing. C, D, G, flip to E. On the G, this. What did I do there? On the A minor, C, B, A, E. A repeated pattern. There it is. There it is again. Okay? Not be overcome. Not be overcome. Name is a lie. The shadows can't deny. Your name not be overcome. Name is a lie. I've shown you a lot of things. One more thing I'm going to show you. This is a long video. I don't care. I'm just going to keep going. Melody in the right hand. I said that at the beginning, so I have to do it. Okay, I remember. And I would be lying if I purposely didn't show you how to put melody in the right hand. Melody in the right hand is just a couple things to remember. Your left hand's going to do exactly the same thing that we've been doing already through the whole song. Did you hear that? Okay. So What your left hand does with that octave and a fifth, not going to change. What the right hand's going to do is you're going to play the melody, but it's got to be on top. If the melody's not on top, our ear doesn't register it as melody. It's got to be on top. You can do things to put it in the middle, but then it's complicated. Put it on the top. Just do that. Melody's on the top, and then occasionally you're going to play a chord, but the chord will be with a melody note, and the other fingers, the other 2 fingers or 3 fingers that you use will be part of the chord that you're on. Okay? So the melody does whatever it wants. The melody doesn't have to be a part of the chord. It can do whatever. But whenever you do play a couple of other notes with that melody note, the melody note's on top, and the other notes are part of the chord that your left hand is also part of. Okay? So that involves, you got to switch the chords a little bit on the right hand sometimes, because the way you were playing the chord, if the melody note doesn't lend itself easily to that, you've got to switch the inversion that you're doing. And some of this is more easily explained by just doing it. First, you got to be able to pick out the melody. Is your ear good enough to pick out the melody? I'll give you the first one. A. You can pause the video and see if you can pick it out. Peace. At your name. Okay, so you pick out the melody. Now, I'm going to play the chords that I already have, but I'm going to put the melody on top. So I decided A minor, so I'm going to play A minor on the first one. C's on the top because that's the melody piece. And a lot of it on this one, I'm just playing the melody and then rolling chords underneath. So please, I'll do it really slow. So I'm rolling the chords underneath and I'm putting the melody in the top. This is not a beginner exercise. Okay, so that's something you have to sit around and fiddle with. Now, so the melody's on top. A good way is just to play the melody, to work on it. Only no chord in the right hand, just the left hand. Then you can start adding other notes in the right hand that are below it. High. right, just played a little bit there just to let you hear some things. Once you get to those really high levels, you get to a place where I'm not going to be able to tell you with words any particular thing to do to turn on the lights for you. It's just a matter of you listening and watching and observing. And if you're already up that level, that higher level of playing, then you're able to listen and to start, experimenting and having your own things that you do. Because the idea is not to copy and sound just like me. The idea is and you may, whoever you're going to listen to, you're going to sound like. Okay, but you're not going to be exactly like them. You're going to be yourself. You're individual. And you can be exactly like someone else if you tried. We're all going to end up being an individual player. So I try to just give you everything, dump it all on you in this one lesson, beginner, intermediate, advanced things, give you encouragement for this. I wonder if anybody stayed to the end of this one. Probably not. It's too long. But I needed to finish. I said I was going to do the melody, so I did it. Guys, my website's $1 to check out the praise and worship course. I've been teaching my whole life, and I got a lot of good things to say in the course. Thought of help for you. And if you really want to play, that course will work for you if you are willing to work. And I've had a lot of fun. Talk to you later.